There it is. Black and white.
About 2,500 homes a year. So you're thinking of a lot of choice now. You're going to have even more in the next few years. That's just the first half. The second half is another 8,000 homes from 25 right over to James Snow Parkway. Hopefully at the same time, the Dairy Green area, this is all, FD stands for future development. This is basically duplicating what we have north of 401 over here, hopefully with higher tech firms as well as offices and commercial, as well as 13 commercial areas here. We're looking at about 1 million square feet of commercial space coming on, being built over the next 10 years. What you see at the corner here of Louis St. Laurent and Bronte Street, you see a small grocery store going there. We've got 2 other grocery stores coming in. So check the plans, check the builders, just go to the website. If you see anything like Madame A, Fieldgate, Great Gulf Homes, check their websites, see what they're planning in the area. This is the aerial map. This is actually out of date. This was done in 2011. You can see most of this area is already filled in. This is the education village. You might be seeing more in tomorrow's paper. We have the velodrome here. We also just gave permission to sell, or actually give, Florida University 100 acres of land to build a university, 2,500 students. That's going to have an impact on this town because people go, oh, it's way out in the middle of nowhere. Well, so was the University of Charlton when it was first built. Western University in London, McMaster in Hamilton. You know, what's going to happen is everything's going to grow around it. You're looking at 50,000 more people in town here. You got 400 acres here as part of the education village, including student residences, businesses, schools, and a commercial plaza. As well as a lot of people don't realize, south of Britannia, to the east or to the west of Highway 25, CN Rail owns 1,100 acres. They're looking at a major employment area there in terms of high-tech businesses as well as railway-related business. One thing that people don't realize as well, the town 100,000, we're like, by 2031 the town is projected to be 240,000 people in 20 years. So you think the traffic's bad now, wait till you're 20 years from now. So as we're trying to get is more people living and working in town so you don't have to commute. Because that's the problem, everybody's in the 401. And where do you hear of the major traffic jams? Trafalgar Road to Winston Churchill, every day. It's not in Toronto. So that's where you're thinking, you know, when you're buying a house is, you know, the price may sound great, but how much money are you spending commuting? And where you're commuting and what your lifestyle is. Because a lot of people don't realize, as my son's graduation, you could have 3 to 5 careers. So the career you're training for right now may not be existent. Talk to a postal worker these days. Their business may not be there anymore. So this is something that we're looking at as a town and I'm also a regional councillor, is not only what we see here, but also what's happening along Trafalgar Road. And we're looking at a major GO station going at Trafalgar Road just south of the 401. And that served not only Halton Hills and Milton, because Milton's projected population by the year 2050 could be 400,000 people, or similar to London, Ontario. And I've got some maps out there along Main Street. You know, see this area, this purple area here, this is all what's called intensification area. We're looking at plans for 5,000 apartments there. Yeah, we've already got the first application in next to Rona, going in for 118 apartments, 12-story building. And that will be starting next year. We've already got the signs up called Jasper Apartments. We're looking at the GO station, as well as 4-story buildings on the north side, so it doesn't impede on the people in the Dorset Park. But again, when you're looking at the houses, if you're buying a house, you know, if you didn't know, all of these backyards, oh, guess what? You're getting at 4-story buildings. Some people may not like that because they all got pools in the backyards. You look at this aerial photograph. We're finding a lot of people in these new areas, I think Chuck sold a few of them, are moving back to older areas because they want a backyard that can actually play in, not 23 feet, which is the standard in new areas. So main choices in houses is not only the house, but the neighborhood and the future directions. Because if you don't have those, and you mentioned here about every 3 to 5 years, look at the changes in these areas. This neighborhood wasn't here 5 years ago. There's 10,000 people there now. So look at the changes. Look, and also very important, if you have school-age children, what school are they attending? Are they going to be bused? Are they going to be rebuilding a school like Martin Street? Are you in a flood zone, which is this green area here? Because if certain mortgage companies, they will not give you a mortgage if you're in a flood zone. Little tips to think about it too. We've got Milton Heights up here. We have an OMB hearing going on right now about 735 homes in this area. It may or may not be approved. And we may not, and this could be 5 to 10 years, but if you're having a house here now, you may or may not have some impact. So be very careful when you're buying. Don't let the agent, you know, Chuck's are one of the better agents in town. because he actually takes you through this process. Other agents from out of town are just going to, come into the Dorset Park neighborhood, and they list the house down here. It's like, wait a minute, they don't even know which neighborhood they're in. So be very careful on it, and listen to not just one person. Get 2 or 3 references. The town, the region, school boards. Check. If you have kids that want to go into French immersion, find out where the French immersion schools are.